Yesterday, a friend of mine who lives in Australia asked me to go on Insta Live with her to answer more questions. People have been asking her a lot of questions about the possible ways to go to Australia. And she knows that I know a lot of things about many countries, and among those countries is Australia. So after being live, explaining the procedures and answering a lot of questions for 2 hours, but it was in Swahili language. For those who speak Swahili can be able to get that video, but we are planning to do another video in English, another interview about the ways someone can be able to use to go to Australia. So while we are waiting for the English version of that particular video or that interview, which we'll be able to do this week, I wanted to make a very high level procedures, how one person can be able to go to Australia, and for different ways you can be able to go to Australia, but what are the ways you can become permanent resident down the road while you are in Australia. So this is the purpose of this video. So let's go about immigration in Australia. Okay, number one, what are the most ways people are using to go to Australia? That will be number one question. Number two, while you are there, what are the ways can you be able to use, to adjust, to change the status from whatever status you have to become permanent resident of that particular country, Australia? So before I go into that one, I want to give a little bit brief about Australia. It is one among the most beautiful countries. I'm saying that way because I had the opportunity to visit Australia for a week. Not to visit on my own money, by the way. While I was in the US Navy, I deployed to go to the Pacifics. So while you are in the Navy, if you are stationed in California, for instance, San Diego, all your deployments will be in the Pacific Ocean. If you are in Atlantic, like you, I'm giving an example, you are in Virginia, you are in Florida, Norfolk, wherever, those areas you'll be deploying more in the Atlantic Ocean and a little bit up to the Indian Ocean, but mostly that area to up to Europe. So we deployed to go to Japan, we go to Palau, we go to South Korea, we went to Australia, and I was in Sydney for like a week or just like 10 days, I think, if not mistaken. So it is very expensive country. If I can compare with America, when you talk about the minimum wage, the overall living expenses, especially in the Sydney, how things they cost, like soda, tea, fruits, whatever, it's extremely very expensive. So when I'm going to explain some of these ways, I want to caution you on certain ways on how to look about it. So let me go first of all to make comparison between Australia and Canada. Australia and Canada, and obviously New Zealand, but Australia and Canada have a big similarities in terms of the immigration ways. And especially how friendly they are when it comes to the legal migration. That means whatever the case you are going to there, they have so many paths you can become permanent resident. They are so welcoming as long as you follow all the legal procedures, just like in Canada. So both of these countries have something in common, which is called the merit-based immigration, or some people call it the points-based immigration. Which means there are certain criteria. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, each item has a specific number or specific points you'll be given, and then you can become permanent resident. I'll talk about that one too. But before that, to go to Australia, there are different ways. Number one, which I usually tell people, is going as a student. I usually support and encourage people to find more opportunities as students, as long as you qualify in terms of education, level you are going to apply, results in terms of graded point average GPA, in terms of work experience or volunteering experience, good resume, good recommendation letter, good statement of purpose, all those kind of things. Make sure that you are determined to be given to go to study. So you can go to study either as self-financing student, or you can go to study as international student, but also as scholarship person. You are going to be given scholarships. It is very expensive for you to go to pay for your own. If you are son of the chief, or you are son of the president, you are whatever, you are a rich person, good for you, you can be able to pay. But to go to pay 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 per year is not worth it. Better you can go to countries which there is no tuition fees, like in Norway, Scandinavian countries, you'll be able to do that. So forget about it, unless others have really a lot of money. But forget about self-financing to pay on your own. So you have to look for the scholarships. So go as a student, as a scholarship student. There are two ways to apply for scholarships. There are scholarships which are government scholarships, and there are scholarships which are institutional scholarships. So I'm not going to, if you want, I can, on the description of this video, I'll post the links of all the government scholarships. And then I'll post the links of institutional scholarships. When I say institutional scholarships, that means specific universities. Like Sydney, University of Sydney, they have specific scholarship for international students. University of Melbourne, they have specific scholarships for international students. So I'll list all these scholarships on this video. So let me make that, because I don't want to go into too detail to mention each scholarship to explain the requirement. I'm not going to do that. But overall, you have to know that you can go through scholarships, government scholarships, or you can go through scholarships which are offered directly by the university. The list of them, they're in this video as a description. Then you can go there, you study. After finishing studying, you have the opportunity to find a work. You have the opportunity to adjust to become permanent resident. I'll talk about the adjustment to the permanent resident. Another way you can go to Australia is to apply direct for job, work permit. So this is a little bit different from US. Yes, the United States have what they call the work visa, which is H1 visa. But it's very complicated visa in the United States to get the H1 visa. And there is a cap of that one. Australia, they have divided, they have work visa or work permit divided into two. Number one is called the skilled work visa. And the other one is just like a semi-skilled, or we call the temporary work visa. The skilled work visa, this one you can get a visa even for 4 years. This one is more like American H1 visa. So you apply a job to a company. So the company is the one currently like is sponsoring you. Is saying, I'm going to give you a job. If I'm going to give you the job, I'm giving you the letter, I'm giving you the paperwork, and I can be able to support you to go through to get the work visa. You can get up to 4 years of that visa. So make sure that you don't get scammed. Oh, I can give you the whatever. No. If you apply for a job, they are not going to get money from you. Oh, send money through Western Union so that you can process this paperwork. No. Just apply, process everything for free. Don't pay anybody. And the good thing, if you go to the government website of Australia, they have even specific agents, immigration consultants, which are verified by the government. You can ask them general questions, they can answer you for free. So those are lawyers or immigration experts. So don't just go to anybody, send Western Union or whatever, MoneyGram, you are going to be scammed. So that is the professional high-skilled work visa. And then these are some who call temporary work visa. Some people, there are some like work holiday visa. So it's just like you can go there for seasonal jobs. Sometimes, especially in the agricultural industry, they might have certain type of maybe picking certain kind of in the farming agriculture. Maybe they want to pick, I don't know if they have strawberry. I'm using just strawberry like for American context. But there are certain types of farming activities. They are seasonal. So they can ask you or recruit many people to go to work on those kind of temporary jobs or summer jobs, kind of that. So if you get those one, these one are easier, quicker to get because the work visa is not complex, because you are going there for 6 months, 2 or 3 months, kind of that. Different from when you are going as a skilled worker for 4 years, that it has to be a very complex process than if you're going for 3 month, 6 month program. So that is another way, those distinction you have to know. You can apply as work visa. So don't tell me, give me the link of these jobs. It's your responsibility to go and find it through the government, and also can go through provinces, Queen province, whatever those provinces, they have also their government, provisional government website. You can look there and find specific if they have jobs through the government. Then, apart from that, obviously, there is the biggest merit-based immigration, point-based system. This one, you can apply either you are already in Australia or you are not in Australia, in your own country. You can apply to become direct permanent resident. The other way I've said, you are going as international student first. You are going as working visa first. But all those visas, you are not going direct as permanent resident. You are not given direct permanent resident. Just like in Canada, the express entry, you apply direct from day one. The day you landed in the country, you are given permanent resident. So this one is just like in the US, you come directly with what we call the green card lottery. But the green card lottery is a random system, whether you have bachelor degree, you have high school, whether you have PhD, you have primary school, you have 10 years of work experience, whatever you have 2 years of qualifying work experience, you can get it. But you come direct from day one with the permanent resident if you come to America through green card lottery. So instead of having the permanent resident through lottery system, they have this one, you apply directly under the merit-based immigration. So the merit-based or the points-based immigration, it means they put the grades, like, okay, if your age is below the age of 45, I'm giving an example. I'm giving an example. You have maybe 10 points. If you have bachelor degree, maybe you have 10 points. Master's degree, you have 15 points. PhD, you have 20 points. And then they come. If your degree is in engineering or medical or IT, general related, those kind of things, you have maybe extra points on those kind of whatever. If your job or your work experience is related to these categories, there is a list of high critical jobs which are in demand. If you are in those one, obviously, like sociology, political science, these are not highly, like becoming a nurse, becoming a doctor, all these kind of lawyers, all these. So there are certain points you need to be able to get. You speak English, you have a certain number of points. Then let's say you have work experience in Australia. Assume you went under the work visa. Assume you went under international student and then you worked in Australia. You get extra points. But then if you have 3 to 5 or 10 years experience in your own country, there is also work experience. You get a certain kind of points. So there is just overall work experience points, but extra points if you have worked in Australia. If you have studied in Australia, you have the same extra points, kind of that. Then there is other things. So they are looking all those kind of smaller things. If you are married, whether you are single, if you are married, what is the education of your spouse? What is the work experience for your spouse? So all those kind of things, they are going to put them together. And then you get the points. So this one, you don't need to go to apply first. They have a points calculator. First of all, you can go there and put your information, and it will tell you you have 50 points, so you don't meet the basic, maybe 65, whatever it is, to be able to apply. So if you know for sure where are you lacking, go and improve those kind of areas before you go to apply. And when you go to apply, yes, there will be a money involved to pay, and you will be paying to the government of Australia, not to someone sitting in Kariakoo, or someone sitting in Meru, Kenya, or someone sitting in Nigeria somewhere, or in Ghana or South Africa. You don't pay to someone, you pay directly to the government of Australia. So that is the biggest part of immigration, which is exactly the same like in Canada on the merit-based immigration under the Express Entry of Canada. So it's the same like what is happening in Australia. So that one, it takes a longer time. It can take even up to 2 years process to go through. So 15 to 24 month process to make sure that you have everything. With COVID now, so many things are slowing down, but it doesn't mean that you don't need to find the information to make sure that you qualify. You need to know what documents you need to have to prepare. You go to the government of Australia, you'll be able to see the calculator, you'll be able to see all the points. Use Google search as your friend to find all this information. They are there. Then the other ways you can go as a tourist. So it depends. If you're going as a tourist, you have your own money, you have friends over there to visit, find a way on how you can visit Australia. Visiting, then you don't become illegal there. You come back to your country, you create a trust. You create a way. If any opportunity comes, a job or work, you have something already, you have shown I'm a trustworthy person, you can be able to do that. For other people, if you can go through family, that means through marriage, you can be able to do that. If your spouse is Australian, they can be able to find a way to process for you. If your spouse is permanent resident, there is also a process, but a longer process, just like how it is in the United States. But also, there are some people, they have very good system for people to apply for asylum, to become refugees in Australia and Canada than in many countries. So those one you can be able, if you are coming, you are really from those countries who are obviously in situation where they need asylum, yes, you'll be able to have a very friendly process to become permanent resident of Australia. And the last one I like to advise people, they have also to look for internships, volunteering opportunities. So don't tell me, IBM sending me the links of these companies which they ask you for volunteering. It's your responsibility. Start looking for institutions which are looking for volunteers, institutions which are looking for internships. Apply. You have nothing to lose. It's free. It's your time. Instead of spending time to look at the videos of Wizkid, and Davido, and Burna Boy, or Diamond, or Harmonize, or Alikiba, whatever, all those musicians or comedian, famous comedian, just take the time. Also look at the comedy somewhere from your favorite comedian, or watch a movie. At the same time watching the movie, find the information about what companies they provide internship, or have this qualification. How can I get internships at this particular university or at this particular organization? So those are the 7 ways, or whatever, depending on how you put them, but all these ways where you can be able to go to Australia, either for temporary, but also in the future to get the possibility of becoming a permanent resident in Australia. It is a very beautiful country, very welcoming, a country with a lot of opportunities for immigrants to succeed. So thank you so much, each and everyone. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share these videos to others. And I'm going to prepare the longer, an hour, 2 hours interview live session, and I'll be able to answer almost the questions from people about Australia in this week. So thank you. Bye-bye.